pleasant day everyone. So today we will be discussing about advances and challenges in the digital age, exploring the impact of technology on society. The rise of global media and digital world has significantly impacted societal attitudes and behaviors, including those related to relationships and sexuality. This report explores the complex interplay between these forces, focusing on illicit relationships and perceptions of sexual promiscuity. So let us proceed to what is global media's influence. Global media, encompassing television shows, movies, music, and social media, portrays a wide range of romantic relationships. Fictional narratives often feature passionate affairs, infidelity, and casual encounters. This constant exposure can normalize illicit relationships, where repeated portrayals of infidelity, particularly with glamorous consequences, can desensitize viewers to the emotional and social repercussions of such actions. And the second one is shape perceptions of promiscuity, where the portrayal of frequent sexual partners, often without emotional connection, can influence viewers' understanding of healthy sexual behaviors. So this is the learning outline of digital age and relationships. First is global media, second is digital world, third is illicit relationships, and fourth is sexual promiscuity. So now let us proceed firstly to connections and influences. The digital world has revolutionized how we connect and access information. Social media fosters global communities, while communication tools enable real time interaction across borders. Search engines provide vast knowledge and online platforms that facilitates commerce and resource sharing. However, this interconnectedness comes with challenges. Social media and online news can influence our perception of reality, and online trends can shape social norms. Constant connectivity can negatively impact mental health. While unequal access to technology creates a digital divide, privacy concerns and the spread of misinformation are also pressing issues. The digital world is a complex web of connections and influences. By being mindful of both its benefits and drawbacks, we can harness its potential for positive change and minimize its negative impacts. So now let us proceed to our first focus is the connection. The first example of connection is social networks, where platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram allows us to connect with friends, family, and even strangers who share similar interests, fostering a sense of community and transcends geographical boundaries. Next is global communication, where instant messaging apps, video conferencing tools, and social media enable real time communication across the globe, facilitating collaboration, education, and cultural change. Next is access to information. Search engines and online database provides access to a vast amount of information, empowering individuals to learn, research, and stay informed. Next is e-commerce and sharing economy, where online platforms connect buyers and sellers, facilitating commerce and the sharing of resources, goods, and services. Now let us focus to the second part, influences. First is about news and information consumption, where social media and online news sources heavily influence our perception of current events and shape public opinion. It's crucial to be critical of information sources and practice media literacy. Next is social norms and behaviors. Online trends, challenges, and memes can influence social norms and behavior patterns, particularly among younger generations. Next is mental health and well being. Constant connectivity and exposure to curated online realities can lead to feelings of inadequacy, isolation, and anxiety. Maintaining a healthy balance between digital and real world interactions is crucial. And lastly, education and learning. Online courses, educational apps, and digital resources are revolutionizing education, making learning more accessible and interactive. The digital world is constantly evolving, presenting both opportunities and challenges. By being mindful of its connections and influences, we can leverage its potential for positive change and mitigate its negative impacts. Now let us focus on our first main topic, which is entitled Digital World and Relationships. The interconnectedness of the digital world has profoundly impacted how individuals form relationships and engage in sexual activity. According to Len Miller and Penny Baker 2017, global media, particularly social media and online dating platforms, offer unprecedented opportunities for connection but can also blur lines and fuel unrealistic expectations. Digital media has become a double edged sword for relationships. On the positive side, it bridges geographical divides, allowing friends and family to stay connected through video calls and social media. Dating apps and online communities can expand social circles and introduce people with similar interests, fostering new relationships. Communication tools like instant messaging enable constant connection and quick updates, strengthening existing bonds. However, digital media can also negatively impact relationships. Constant social media comparison can breed envy and insecurity. The pressure to create a perfect online persona can strain authenticity in real life interactions. Excessive screen time can steal quality time from partners and loved ones, leading to feelings of neglect and disconnection. Infidelity can be facilitated through anonymous online interactions. Overall, digital media's influence on relationships requires a mindful approach to navigate its benefits and drawbacks. Now let us focus to the digital world and illicit relationships. The digital world provides a platform of anonymity and connection, facilitating illicit relationships. Dating apps and social media allow individuals to connect with potential partners outside their immediate social circles, blurring the lines between flirtation and infidelity. The dark side of connection, the digital world and illicit relationships, with its emphasis on connection and ease of communication, has become a breeding ground for illicit relationships. So now let's delve deeper into three aspects of this phenomenon, or more so, four aspects of this phenomenon. Now, first is the online infidelity and tech infidelity. Online infidelity focuses on engaging in emotional or physical intimacy with someone outside a committed relationship, facilitated by the digital world. Its examples are: first, developing an emotional connection through online messaging or social media; second, engaging in sexually explicit communication online; and thirdly, secretly using dating apps or websites while in a relationship. Online infidelity impacts breach of trust, emotional betrayal, potential for physical infidelity, and damage to the relationship. So, next is tech infidelity. Tech infidelity focuses on misusing technology within a committed relationship, leading to a breakdown of trust or emotional intimacy. The examples are: firstly, excessive texting or social media use that neglect the partner. Second is hiding online activity or social media profiles. Third is sending flirtatious messages or engaging in online activity that disrespects the relationship. The impact of tech infidelity causes erosion of trust, feelings of isolation and neglect, and potential for emotional distance. Constant connectivity means temptation is always a tap or click away. Exposure to attractive profiles and ease of communication can blur the lines between harmless interaction and emotional infidelity. So for our next focus, it is about catfishing. So what is catfishing? Catfishing is a deception where it involves creating a fake online persona to lure someone into a relationship. Deception can range from using stolen photos to fabricating the entire life stories. So what are the mechanics of catfishing? First is fake identities. Catfishers use stolen photos, videos, and even bios from real people to create a believable online persona. They may fabricate entire life stories to build trust with their victims. Second is targeted manipulation. Catfishers often target individuals who are lonely, vulnerable, or seeking specific qualities in a partner. They tailor their online persona to appeal to the victim's desires and insecurities. And thirdly, emotional investment. Catfishers invest time and effort into building an emotional connection with their victims. They may engage in frequent communication, compliments, and declaration of love to create a sense of intimacy. So, what is the impact of catfishing? First is emotional distress. Catfishing can be emotionally devastating for victims. They may experience feelings of betrayal, heartbreak, and confusion. Second, financial loss. Victims who are tricked into sending money to catfishers can suffer significant loss. Damage to trust. Catfishing can make it difficult for victims to trust others online and even in real world relationships. Now let us proceed to the third aspect of the digital world and illicit relationships, which is the third party influence. So how does third party influence works? First is direct interference. In some cases, third parties may directly interfere in the relationship by offering unsolicited advice, spreading rumors, or attempting to manipulate one partner against the other. And the second one is indirect influence. More often, third party influence is indirect. Their actions, opinions, or even their mere presence can create a shift in the dynamic between the primary couple. This could involve feelings of jealousy, insecurity, or a need to compete for attention. So, what are the negative third party influence? The first one is toxic friends or family. Individuals who are critical, judgmental, or manipulative can create tension and conflict within a relationship. So they may encourage negativity or undermine trust between partners. Second is excess or unresolved past relationships. Unfinished businesses with former partners can create emotional baggage and interfere with the current relationship. Next is social media. The constant exposure to seemingly perfect relationships online can fuel feelings of inadequacy and dissatisfaction with one's own relationship. So social media can be also be a platform for jealousy and insecurity if partners spend excessive time comparing themselves to others. And lastly, co-workers or acquaintances. Developing inappropriate emotional attachments with people outside of the relationship can be a form of infidelity and create a threat to the primary partner. And for the fourth aspect, it focuses on the misunderstanding and jealousy. But now let us focus to misunderstanding. Communication breakdowns is the first among misunderstanding, where misunderstanding often stems from communication issues. This can include unclear communication, selective listening, or misinterpreting verbal and nonverbal cues. And the next one is assumptions and expectations. Making assumptions about your partner's thoughts or feelings without clear communication can lead to misunderstandings. Additionally, having unrealistic expectations can also set the stage for misinterpretation. So, what are the impacts of misunderstanding? Firstly is frustration and resentment. Unresolved misunderstanding can fester and lead to frustration and resentment on both sides. Second, emotional distance. When couple can't effectively communicate, it can create emotional distance and feelings of disconnection. Third, conflict. Misunderstandings can escalate into arguments and conflict. So, how can you deal with misunderstandings? First is active listening. Practice active listening, which involves paying close attention to your partner, asking clarifying questions, and summarizing what you have heard. Second is clear communication. Communicate clearly and directly. Express your thoughts and feelings honestly and avoid accusatory language. And third is seek clarification. Don't be afraid to ask for clarification if something you hear seems confusing. And lastly, it's empathy. Try to see things from your partner's perspective and understand their point of view. Now let us proceed to jealousy. So where does jealousy came from? First, fear of loss. Jealousy often stems from a fear of losing your partner's love, attention, or affection to someone else. Second, insecurity. Feelings of insecurity about oneself can also contribute to insecurity or jealousy. Possessiveness and control. In some cases, jealousy can be rooted in possessiveness or a desire to control your partner. So, what is the impact of jealousy? First, unhealthy behavior. Jealousy can lead to unhealthy behaviors like snooping, accusations, or controlling tendencies. Next is erosion of trust. Constant jealousy can erode trust within the relationship. And third, the last one, unhappiness for both partners. Jealousy can create a tense and unhappy environment for both partners. So, how will you cope with jealousy? First one is identify the root of the cause. Explore the underlying reasons for your jealousy. Is it insecurity, past experience, or something else? Second one is open communication. Talk openly and honestly with your partner about your feelings of jealousy. Third one, trust building. Focus on building trust and security within the relationship. Fourth one is healthy boundaries. Establish healthy boundaries with others to avoid unnecessary triggers of jealousy. And lastly, self-esteem boost. Work on your work build on building your self-esteem and self-worth to feel more secure within yourself. So for our next topic, or for our next main topic, it is about the blurring lines of sexual promiscuity in the digital age. So, the digital world, with its constant streaming of misinformation and connections, has undeniably impacted how we view and experience sexuality. This report explores how the digital language is blurring the lines of what is considered sexually promiscuous, focusing on the rise of hetero culture, sexting, and double standards that persist. The first one we have is the hetero culture. The origin of the term hetero is a Filipino term meaning to go all out, to go wild, or to do something with vigor. In the context of social media, hetero culture refers to the tendency to share explicit or suggestive content, often blurring the lines between healthy sexuality and need for validation. So the impact on perception of hetero culture can normalize what might have previously been considered promiscuous behavior. It can create a perception that such openness is expected or even desirable. Next is prevalence sexting. So, what is prevalent sexting? Sexting refers to the exchange of sexually explicit photos or messages, often electronically. So, shifting norms, sexting was considered taboo, is becoming increasingly common, particularly among younger generations. This can lead to more casual attitude towards sexual expression. So the potential risks of sexting can have unintended consequences, such as the spread of explicit content without permission or consent, emotional distress, or even legal trouble. And top the third subtopic is about double standard stigma, or known as the gender bias. Society often applies a double standard to sexual behavior, with men being viewed more favorably for having complete partners, while women are judged more harshly for the same actions. This creates a sense of stigma and shame for women who choose to be sexually expressive. So it has an unequal impact. The concept of sexual promiscuity is often applied differently to men and women, where the stigma associated with sexual promiscuity, particularly for women, can lead to feelings of shame and isolation. This can create a hesitancy to have an open and honest conversation about sex. So for our next topic, it's about need for open communication and education. First is comprehensive sex education. Schools can apply or can play a crucial role by implementing comprehensive sex education programs that address topics like consent, healthy relationships, and responsible online behavior. Next is open dialogue at home. Parents and guardians can encourage open communication with their children about sexuality, fostering a safe space for questions and discussions. Next is literacy. Educating individuals on media literacy can help them critically evaluate the messages they encounter online, particularly regarding social media portrayals of sexuality. In addition, we also need honest conversations. In a world where boundaries are blurring, open and honest communication about sex and relationships is crucial. Partners should discuss their expectation and comfort levels regarding online behavior and intimacy. Another one is challenging stigmas. We need to challenge the double standard stigma surrounding sexual behaviors. Open discussion and fostering a culture of respect are the key. So the digital age presents both challenges and opportunities when it comes to sexuality. By fostering an open communication, promoting comprehensive sex education, and challenging outdated norms, we can navigate this changing landscape and create a more healthy and positive environment for all. So how do digital world erodes values and boundaries? In our hyper-connected world, the digital landscape is constantly reshaping societal norms. While this offers opportunities for connection and information access, it also presents challenges. One such challenge is the erosion of values and boundaries, particularly around relationships and sexuality. This report explores how the digital world can blur the lines between acceptable behavior and potentially harmful actions. So, how do the digital world erodes values and boundaries? First is constant connectivity. The 24/7 nature of the digital world can blur the lines between work and personal life, leading to information overload, overload and difficulty maintaining boundaries. Second, instant gratification. So how the digital world So how does the digital world erodes values and boundaries? First, is constant connectivity. The 24/7 nature of the digital world can blur the lines between work and personal life, leading to information overload and difficulty maintaining boundaries. Second, instant gratification. The fast paced digital environment promotes a culture of instant gratification, potentially eroding values like patience, delayed gratification, and long term commitment. The third one is echo chambers and filter bubbles. Social media algorithms can create echo chambers, exposing individuals only to information and opinions that confirm their existing beliefs, hindering critical thinking and challenging established values. Next is oversharing and privacy concerns. The ease of sharing information online can lead to oversharing, potentially compromising privacy and make it difficult to maintain boundaries between public and private lives. And lastly, cyberbullying and online harassment. The anonymity afforded by the digital world can embolden people to engage in cyberbullying and harassment, eroding values of respect and empathy. So, what could be the potential solutions? First is digital detox. Taking regular breaks from digital technology can help individuals regain a sense of perspective and refocus on their core values. Second is mindful social media use. Practicing mindful social media use involves being critical of online content, avoiding echo chambers, and seeking diverse viewpoints. Next is communication skills or strong communication skills, where an open and honest communication, both online and offline, is essential for establishing and maintaining healthy boundaries in relationships. The fourth one is digital literacy education. Equipping individuals with digital literacy skills empowers them to navigate the online world safely and critically. And lastly, emphasis on critical thinking. Encouraging critical thinking skills allows individuals to evaluate information objectively, challenge biases, and make informed decisions that align with their beliefs. So, in conclusion, the digital age has undoubtedly impacted our understanding of relationship and sexuality. Global media and online platforms can influence perceptions and provide opportunities for illicit connections. However, it is important to maintain a critical perspective and remember that individual values and cultural contexts shape these experiences.